Back with me from Shaw and Partners is David Bosio. David, afternoon, good to see you.
Hey Andrew, how you going?
Doing good, David, thank you. Look, bit of interest, some renewed energy as far as the IPO market. What are you seeing?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and I must say we've really hit this second half of the year with some real strength in that sector, and at Shaw and Partners, I know we've got a very full pipeline at the moment of companies looking to come to market, and it's a huge difference compared to, I guess, conversations that we were having late last year and I guess early 2020. It just feels like sentiment's changed, and there are a lot of companies looking to come to market.
Can you give us an indication as to what types of companies? I mean, across what sectors?
Yeah, well, we've got a national presence, so we do see things, a lot of opportunities from both the west coast and east coast of Australia. So a few of the things that we've got on our desk at the moment, we're working on a small gold IPO, which is called Miramar, and that's got early stage exploration assets in Western Australia focused on gold. Obviously, we've talked a lot about gold over the last few months, and I've seen early interest has been quite astonishing, and it just shows you that there's a lot of appetite there for those sorts of opportunities. But on the other end of the spectrum, our team on the east coast have been working on a lot of big deals, and a lot of it's e-commerce driven, buy now, pay later. So very exciting sectors given the world that we're currently living in. And a couple of those examples, we've got Adore Beauty, which is an e-commerce platform. It's a $600 million IPO, and we're co-manager on that deal, so it's an exciting one to be involved in. But we're also associated and running Aussie Broadband, again, online services to consumers. We're involved in Booktopia, online bookseller, looking to come to market as well, and a few others, including Zebit, which Zebit's a buy now, pay later platform business, which is anyone who's been familiar with that sector knows it's been extremely exciting of late.
So these guys are not only coming to market, but they're also raising a decent amount of cash as well, are they?
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen again all ranges on that in that spectrum. Something like Miramar being a small exploration IPO that's raising between $5 to $8 million, whereas you got something like Adore Beauty up to 600 million, which is significant. But Aussie Broadband's 150 million IPO, Zebit's a $200 million IPO. Like there's a lot of money that can potentially be raised for these companies if they obviously get away and they're successful. But that's just from my part of the world, and from what we see, and obviously that's quite consistent, I would have thought, across many brokers around Australia. So for me, given our take on it, I just think there's going to be a flurry of activity going into the end of the year.
And some of the recent IPOs that you've been involved in, how are they performing?
Yeah, so again, going into, call it late 2019, early 2020, I would say it was quite subdued. The interest was low. There weren't many new IPOs coming to market, and one that we were involved in that had a difficult, I guess, listing was OpenPay, and OpenPay is in the buy now, pay later space, and that had a soft IPO, and during COVID, it went down to well under its issue price for a short period. What we saw, obviously, though, with that uptake in I guess consumers really using the online platforms, and then these buy now, pay later companies that are out there, we've seen huge pickup in transaction volumes and all the metrics that drive these businesses. So OpenPay has gone up materially. It's well and truly over issue price now. We've seen a lot of institutional demand, and they were actually able to raise a lot more capital, well and truly above the offer price. So within the space of, call it 6 months, there's been a massive turnaround, and we've seen that across that entire sector, being Afterpay, Zip, OpenPay, and some others. Some of the gold IPOs or resources IPOs that we've been associated with as well have done very well. One, I think, that we've talked about in the past, Black Cat Syndicate, that's also had a great pickup. Those guys are trading at around 80 cents thereabouts at the moment. And they, again, a West Australian explorer with some good ounces under their belt, but they have, they were struggling during COVID, and the share price got knocked down to around 20 cents. So you can see pretty much from, call it, March through to the current times, you know, that stock's gone up almost 4 times. So you can see that there's demand for these opportunities, and the investor sentiment is very, very strong.
And as you said a moment ago, you're expecting this this flurry of activity through till the end of the year, are you?
Yeah, I do. I just think that we've seen so much stimulus and money pumped into the system. There's this perfect storm at the moment for equity markets. We've seen the Dow, the Nasdaq. If you look at those charts, just as a very crude representation of how the markets are performing, it's been a V bottom. So the markets really fell hard on the back of the COVID outbreak, and we've seen just this incredible rally across those indices, which is phenomenal. The stimulus that's also come in, and actually, money that's been, I guess, given to almost every consumer globally, is finding its way either into markets or businesses, and it's doing its job in terms of driving investment markets forward. So I do see it from where I sit as very, very strong. Sentiment is strong, and I just feel that we're going to see a lot of pent-up demand. A lot of companies that were sitting on the sidelines thinking about listing, they're taking this opportunity to hit the markets.
Good to see you, David. Thanks for your views.
Thanks, Andrew.